The Chinese Communist Party, through its state propaganda outlets, insisted that it would not relent on its brutal lockdown and quarantine policies known as zero COVID. All this as Joe Biden remains silent on Xi Jinping, but China officials have no problem insulting the U.S. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying, one of the few people in China legally allowed to use the American social media platform Twitter, wrote this today. Look at this tweet. Check it out. The price of freedom. In U.S., 1 million COVID deaths, 40,000 gun deaths per year, 107,600 fentanyl deaths in 2021 alone, and on and on and on. So let's bring in Senator Mike Braun from Indiana to talk about this and more. Senator, you see what's going on. The price of freedom, 1 million COVID deaths. You see what's going on? They tell us they don't have any COVID in China. Do you believe any of this stuff?
Well, you never know in a country like that when they, do all the things to their own population, the Uyghurs and a few others. So, that kind of sanctimonious statement like that, when they're producing all the fentanyl around the world, that really takes a lot of nerve. I think what's really happening, Eric, is that country sees the rest of the world living with the freedoms that we've got. And they're now starting to demand it. I think Xi is probably in for the toughest stretch he's seen. And sooner or later, that stuff all boils to the surface. You can't keep your people under your thumb like the thugs in communist nations do. I'm interested to see how this all pans out. I don't think the media player, the expert there, will be able to keep it submerged. I think it's coming out for the world to see.
Senator, where's the official response from the White House? Where's the United States response saying, what are you doing there? There were 10 people died because they locked an apartment building from the outside to keep COVID in, and the building caught on fire. These are human rights atrocities. Why is the Biden administration silent on this?
It's shameful. You had CNN, you had MSNBC, you had other mainstream media outlets, New York Times, praising what the Chinese have done there. Where are they? Our own government, when they took the crisis, they're unapologetic about it. Rahm Emanuel never let a crisis go to waste. They've been enterprising on that over the last 2 years. When they shut the economy down to begin with, as harsh as they did, and kept it there, that cost us trillions and trillions. They ought to be interested on where this thing arose. Fauci's retiring. Is he going to be involved in where it originated? I mean, there's so many unanswered questions, Eric, and they have everybody that covers for them. Thank goodness you bring it up.
We talk about this, and we talk about how we're against governments that do these types of things to their people. And we talked about it a little bit earlier on the importance of the Second Amendment for that reason. But Control Room, go back, if you can scroll back to some of that video you're showing of that guy in a detention camp with food being thrown into a box. He's being detained against his will. Food is being thrown into a box. Look at this. Watch this video, Senator. This is like a dystopian movie that you go, holy crap, that could never happen in real life, right? But where are we? Why are we okay with this?
Well, I think that woke mentality that we deal with here, where it tries to hold us accountable for stuff that does not make sense, and then they're apologetic to a country that stands for everything against what our Constitution is really about. And when you come to the big corporations, mainstream media, yes, the Democratic Party, they're all apologists for this. Same way they've been, the Democratic Party, silent on the atrocities at the southern border. I mean, we were down there over a year and a half ago, and these scenes right here remind me of that. So they're turning a blind eye to more than just a few things.
We got a president who's got his son's got a lot of dealings with China, and then I assume as soon as January 20th comes and you have Republicans holding the gavel in Congress, hopefully we'll get a few more answers in front of some hearings. Senator, before we let you go, it's Senator Mike Braun. Is there going to be a run for Governor Mike Braun of Indiana coming soon?
Eric, I pledged I wouldn't do this more than 2 terms, and I believe more in term limits now more than ever. Founders never thought this would turn into a deep swamp full of bureaucrats and career politicians. I'll always be preaching that. I'll make my mind up here in a couple weeks and make it public. I know what I'll do when if I do go back there or I stay here, it'll be to defend the principles that I was raised on: freedom, liberty, free enterprise, not growing the federal government or government, growing a country that the founders meant to be run by businesses, individuals, state and local governments, not a place that borrows $1.5 trillion a year and calls that running a government. That's shameful.
Well, I'll tell you what, Senator, you've been a great guest on our show, Senator Mike Braun. I've been a big fan of you. I've been a big fan of all your work that you're doing as a senator. I would be very supportive of Mike Braun as the governor from Indiana. We could use some really, really strong governors as well, and you've been a strong senator. I hope you do announce, and I hope you do announce right here on the show, whatever your decision may be. Senator, appreciate your time.
You bet. My pleasure.
All right.